A business strategy is necessary for those companies that are interested in their further development and increasing profits. It is obvious that the vast majority of enterprises want to get such a result, but does everyone understand the importance of strategy? Not at all. Many entrepreneurs still believe that they do not need to develop and implement a business strategy. This attitude is based on the success of the company at the moment. However, the company's system of work constantly needs to be modernized with time because of such reasons as high competition, constant change of trends, shortening of the product lifecycle, and etc. And that's where the business strategy will come to the rescue. What is a business strategy? A business strategy is a plan for the development of a company, how to fulfill the goals and objectives that will lead you to success. With its help, you can survive the crisis and take the organization to a new level, increase sales figures, attract new customers, and stand out among competitors. The strategy is created by company managers or business owners, since only they know what goals should be achieved. Work on the strategy can be delegated to third-party companies that organize business processes. In this case, it is necessary to give specialists full information about the organization's plans, share data on sales, income and expenses, tasks of all departments of the company, which exposes the possibility of information leakage. To determine for what period to develop a strategy, take into account the market situation and the position of the company. If the economy is unstable now, the organization has problems, it is better to make a plan for 1 to 2 years so that it is easier to adjust it. If the situation is stable, we can work out a strategy for the next few years. Objectives of strategy development. The strategy is developed in order to choose priority areas of development, to determine the methods of management of the organization. It allows managers and employees to understand the prospects and plan tasks for each department of the company. The strategy helps to coordinate the work of departments, determine financial and timeframes, and other resources, assess, prevent risks. A business strategy is needed by both small startups and large businesses, all companies that want to take a leading position in their niche. Varieties of development strategies. To choose a suitable strategy, consider the scale of the business, goals and growth opportunities. It is not necessary to stop at one strategy, you can combine 2 or more for maximum efficiency and if the case requires it. 1. Basic. The basic strategy is planning the development of goods and services, the company as a whole and its divisions. It determines how to allocate resources between departments, what to change in the management structure, which business processes to implement for business growth. This is the most difficult and ambitious strategy to implement. 2. Competitive. A competitive strategy is needed to achieve a leading position in the market. For example, to entice customers and bypass the indicators of other organizations, the amount of profit, the number of sales and regular customers. There are 3 types of competitive strategy. 1. Minimizing costs. The goal is to make the costs of marketing, production of goods and their sale lower in terms of costs than competitors. 2. Differentiation. The company creates a unique product. For example, a restaurant develops a menu and includes dishes that competitors do not have. 3. Focusing. It is based on the choice of a narrow group of buyers. 3. Functional. The functional strategy is aimed at internal work processes in departments. It affects production, marketing, finance and sales. It builds processes in each department separately and helps to ensure smooth operation in them. Another functional strategy includes R&D, research and development work. They include experiments, ideas and activities for the launch of new products. Rules for evaluating the selected business strategy. To evaluate the strategy, work out the motivation system. Systematize data about your organization, for example, the number of requests and closed transactions in different periods, expenses and income, find out the problems of departments. Define a criteria for evaluating the strategy, for example, feasibility. 1. Motivation. The manager needs to determine what motivates the staff to work effectively. They put the opportunity to develop professionally, grow in their career or increase their income in the first place. Then develop KPIs, key indicators by which the work of employees will be evaluated. For example, the number of calls or meetings with clients per day, the volume of sales per month, the average check, depending on the position. Encourage those employees who cope with the indicators. This can be a salary increase, a promotion, free training courses, and so on. 2. Information. The manager must build a feedback system with all groups. This is necessary for an adequate assessment of the sales market, own resources and processes in the company. Also, for the successful implementation of the strategy, it is necessary to analyze the current indicators and determine which of them and how they should change. For example, look at sales plans, evaluate resources, and determine how much sales should grow and by what date. 3. Criteria. What parameters are important to pay attention to? 1. Planning. To what extent the chosen strategy is suitable for the implementation of the conceived plan. 2. Suitability. Is it possible to implement a strategy taking into account the market situation? 3. Feasibility. Are there any time, financial, human, and other resources now? 4. Acceptability. Does the strategy argue with the interests of key employees, department heads, and top managers? 5. Superiority. Whether it will be possible to beat competitors and to what extent. Steps to form the company's development strategy. To create a company development strategy, you will have to spend a lot of time analyzing competitors, internal processes of the company, goals, and objectives. It is also necessary to study the weaknesses and strengths of your organization. Study of the macro environment. Macro environment, external circumstances affecting the business. For example, the state of the economy in the country and global crises. Such factors also include 1. New laws. For example, you plan to sell goods that may require a license. 2. Transactions of market leaders, mergers of companies, opening of new branches, announcements of new products increase competition. 3. Incomes of the population. If incomes fall, you can reorient from premium class to economy. When they grow, bring a new expensive product to the market. Microenvironment analysis. A microenvironment is what a business interacts with: suppliers, competitors, partners, buyers, or employees. The company can influence the microenvironment differently. For example, you can change suppliers if they find more favorable conditions, take into account the needs of customers, look for new partners and sponsors. To study the microenvironment, you should conduct marketing research. Think about market trends, customer needs and behavior, and competitors' working methods are determined. According to the results of the research, it will become clear how the industry is developing, what customers do you need, and what pricing policy should be like. SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis helps to objectively assess the disadvantages and advantages of a business. It is needed to systematize information about the company, determine long-term goals, see prospects and risks. For analysis, make a plate with 4 columns and write down: 1. Advantages over other companies. 2. Disadvantages of your company. 3. External factors that enable growth. 4. Threats to the external environment. The Ansoff matrix. It is a tool for strategic positioning of the product in the market. There are 4 directions, and the company should choose one of them. 1. Increasing sales of the old product in the old market. 2. Bringing the old product to the new market. 3. Sale of new products in the old market. 4. Change of both the product and the market. Compare all the directions with the result of the research of all the analyses and determine which direction will bring more profit. Definition of goals and objectives. Goals and objectives should be clear, with visible results. Start with the goal. For example, add 5 new product categories in 3 months, increase sales 4-fold by the end of next year, or open 7 more outlets in 3 years. Next, you need to specify in detail the tasks that will lead to this goal. Answer the questions: what is needed to realize the goal? What stages should be? For example, in order to increase sales, it is necessary to rework the KPIs of managers and hire several more employees, rework scripts for communicating with customers, and optimize advertising costs. How to implement an enterprise development strategy. 1. Determine the current state of the company. Collect up-to-date information about the company, sales volumes, profits, expenses. Analyze the capabilities of staff and managers, the terms of cooperation with suppliers and other partners. 2. Identify the company's capabilities. Evaluate the real capabilities of the enterprise, study its cons and pros. If you adequately assess your own strength, you will be able to choose the right strategy. 3. Prepare changes in the structure of the company's management. This is necessary in order to open new divisions if necessary, hire additional employees, or create your own logistics department. If you predict possible personnel changes in advance, you can quickly navigate at a critical moment. 4. Eliminate possible risks. This step will help to avoid possible losses and protect the company from bankruptcy. To do this, you need to determine what you will do in the event of a crisis. It does not only mean global crises, but also such situations as if a competitor's company will open nearby or a supplier will raise prices. 5. Adjust the strategy. To do this, you need to constantly analyze what is happening in the macro and microenvironment. For example, take into account changes in legislation, the emergence of new sales markets or competitors. Adjustments to the strategy will help achieve results despite the changes. Possible risks when implementing a business strategy. There are risks that can be impossible to avoid. These include 1. Changes in the country's politics and economy. 2. Inability to recoup production costs. 3. Oversaturation of the market with products. 4. More favorable offers from competitors. 5. Quality reduction due to violation of standards. 6. Errors in contracts. 7. Poor customer service. Every business has its risks and difficulties, but it is important to understand that everything is surmountable. A business strategy will help you understand what your expectations and goals are and how to competently build a plan to achieve them in your own company. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel.